Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Lala Legacy with another episode of Eden, because I did figure out that the Plus Mosaic is completely different from the main storyline. So let's go ahead and do these. So, Your Smile Beneath the Sky, featuring Sion. A gentle wind blew, causing the vegetation to sway back and forth. The sun was warm and pleasant as it hung in the deep blue sky. While it has been a little stormy as of late, today looked as though it would be a good day. I finished tending the fields before breakfast, so what do I do now? With the cleaning and laundry already taken care of, there weren't any other chores left to do. I was about to walk off, but stopped. It occurred to me that I hadn't seen her since breakfast. Sion's small body was lounging on a deck chair, sound asleep. She had a perfectly good bed in the house. Why did she want to sleep out here? Well then, what to do? I considered going out to get some food. Should I let her know before I leave? It would be a shame to wake her up, and I'm not too comfortable with leaving her to sleep outside either. Sion. Hey, Sion. She moved a little for just a moment and then went back to sleep. It seemed like she had been sleeping quite a bit lately. Her sleep schedule was always poor, but it felt like she had started sleeping a lot more as of late. Sion! I leaned over and gazed at her face. She's so cute. It was hard to picture her as someone who had saved the entire world when she was asleep like this. Calm, innocent, fragile, she looked like she'd break if someone were to touch her. I gently reached towards her cheek. Ro? Aww. I quickly pulled my hand back, though it wasn't like I was doing something that I would feel guilty about. Sorry, I didn't want to wake you up. No, it's alright. I must have spaced out and fallen asleep. I don't mind if you sleep. I just wish you'd sleep inside if you can help it. There's nothing wrong with this place. There's a nice breeze today. There is, but it'll be bad for your body if you're exposed to the wind for too long. I think you're being a bit too overprotective. I think I'm being pretty ordinary myself. It was always wiser to err on the side of caution when it came to her health. We never knew when something might happen after all. Ro, I'm alright. What? I know that you won't find any peace of mind even if I say this, but I'm saying it anyway. I'm alright. There's no need to worry at all. I see. Yes, as she said, I wasn't able to find any peace of mind. However, if she wished, I would cut out the excessive worrying. Sion, it's alright if you sleep out here, but could you at least keep warm? I'll go get a blanket or something. Were you about to head out? Huh? Yeah. I thought I'd go look for food or something. I'll go too. Aren't you sleepy? I'm awake now, so I'm going with you. It won't exactly be interesting even if you go. Everything here is still interesting to me. Everything is fresh to me. Alright, understood. Stand up then. There. Sion stood with a strange shout of enthusiasm, or so I thought, when she suddenly stuttered and fell to the ground. Ow! Sion, are you okay? That hurt! Sion tottered as she picked herself up and shook her head slightly. It was just for an instant, but how could I not have caught her? Sorry, Sion. No, it's okay. Actually, now I'm really awake. You were still half asleep? I still couldn't be negligent when attending to her. Well, let's go while you're awake. Yeah, let's. It's so cute. Maintaining a food supply on the mountain was quite difficult, Finding edible plants required some know-how, especially due to the fickle weather. When I tried to hunt, there were many times I would walk the mountain all day and not find a single wild animal. You know, I don't mind walking around the mountain. Yeah, you look like you have fun when you're walking. Fun? I wouldn't go that far. This mountain was like a familiar garden to me, so it put me in a different mood than usual whenever I was here. Well, life here does require a good deal of time spent on securing food after all. I might as well find some sort of enjoyment in it. If you're enjoying yourself, then I'm happy too. She let out a small murmur and stepped forward. Hey, Ro? Isn't it kind of quiet today? Is it? I don't think anything is all that different. The mountain would probably be changing, no, dying from here on out. Even so, today, there was still... So it's just me? No, this mountain is usually quiet. That wasn't what I meant. You're right. I know what you're trying to say. I thought it would be better if I could avoid saying it directly. She must have disliked my attempt to skirt the issue. It's because things were so busy around here just a little while ago. Now everything seems quiet by comparison. I see, I hadn't noticed. Sion nodded repeatedly as though she were truly impressed. There was no way she could have forgotten Maya already. Virtually no time had passed since that loudmouth journalist had left us. Oh, okay, so this was shortly after Maya left. I see. It's true that no living creature that rambunctious has ever been around me before. I've had such a strange feeling ever since Maya left. It didn't seem like she had forgotten her, but... Sion, are you lonely? Who knows? I'm not sure. That was my first time ever saying goodbye to someone like that. Sion was in that research facility for over 100 years. She was forcibly separated from Alicia, who had always been with her. Then, while her memories of parting with Alicia were still fresh on her mind, she had to say goodbye to Maya. I doubt she would ever forget the sight of Maya energetically waving as she left. However, Sion might not understand just how to deal with the concept of separation. Hey, Sion! What? Would you like to try and go to the lake today? Is there something interesting there? That's for you to decide. All I can really say is that there is something a bit unusual. Roger. She nodded sharply and began to walk a little faster. She seemed to be quite eager to see something new. Ah, this is cute. Where's this something unusual? You're pretty impatient. I smiled wryly as she began looking around restlessly just as we reached the lake. There is no point in being patient. I hate feigning modesty. Don't be so blunt. Well, I guess it's not a big deal. I pointed a short distance ahead. There's a boat over there. I haven't shown it to you yet, have I? A boat? Did you make it? No, the previous inhabitants must have made it. Maya found it a while ago. We didn't want to deal with managing a boat, and since we could still fish off the shore, we left it alone. I want to go for a ride. I thought you'd say that. I guess I should have told you sooner. Yeah, you're mean. You really shouldn't be so blunt, Sion. Since I knew she wasn't being sarcastic, I was insulted. But you know, even though I was a little late telling you, it's not like the boat is going anywhere. I'll take you on board, so forgive me this time. I'll consider it after giving it a try. Got it. Everything comes after a real trial, huh? Indeed, a logical way of thinking. Befitting of a former scientist. Ah! Oh my god, it's cute! Wow, it's kind of wobbly. Hey, be careful, don't fall in the water. I know that much. You treat me too much like a klutz. She puffed out her cheeks and glared at me. Whether or not she actually was a klutz, I couldn't take my eyes off her. It doesn't really matter if I fall in anyway. No matter how nice the season, swimming would be hard on you at this temperature. Besides, can you even swim? Just so you know, this lake is deep. Your feet won't reach the bottom. I'm aware of the theory behind how a human body floats on water. Just aware of it, huh? Despite the fact that she'd been living so close to the ocean all those 100-some years, I couldn't believe she never tried to go swimming. Alicia got permission from the military once and tried to take me to the ocean. Really? Well, that sounds like something she'd do. But I cried, so she stopped. Cried? It didn't seem like she was joking. I'm aware of the principles of buoyancy, but there's a fine line between theory and practice. It wouldn't be good to go somewhere dangerous just to test a theory. That's reasonable. If I thought back, we had used many boats to get here from the research facility, but Sion spoke very little while on board. Trips on yachts and cruisers much larger than this boat must not have interested her all that much. In that case, are you scared now as well? Yes, I am, but I think it could also be fun. Is that what they call thrill and suspense? Suspense is definitely different. You didn't play along with a joke. Just to put it out there, your jokes are pretty subtle. That might have hurt a little. Aww. Sorry guys. I'm starting to get sick again. Sion said that slightly downtrodden, in a slightly downtrodden voice while gazing at the lake's surface. Hey Sion, is it okay if you want to, it's okay if you want to thrill or whatever, but don't fall. It's alright. I'll make sure it's safe first. That's the wisest way of doing things. In other words, the sending someone into the minefield ahead of you method. Very good, Ro. You're not necessarily very intelligent, but you're incredibly perspective. Are you praising me? I tend to not tell that many lies. The fact that she didn't say she'd never lie was pretty honest. By the way, would it really be the best if I dove in? I could swim, but I don't think we should assume it's safe even if I dove in to test. That was a joke, by the way. It wouldn't be very interesting if you dove in anyway. You're right. It wouldn't be interesting for me to dive in alone. As I said that, a strange idea suddenly came to mind. Up until now, I never would have considered such a thing. More like, it was probably something I shouldn't do. Sion, don't struggle. It won't be dangerous as long as you relax. Huh? What? When I give you the signal, take a deep breath and hold it. Okay, but what are... Alright, take a breath. Alright. Confused as she was, Sion obediently took a deep breath and held it in as I asked. Here we go! Yeah! I held her and jumped from the boat. We plunged into the water and began to sink. That's beautiful! The water was unexpectedly warm and clear, so we had a nice unobstructed view. My actions just now were something akin to a lover's suicide, but of course I had no intention of dying. I checked her face. I expected her to struggle a little, but she was adapting underwater surprisingly well. She was drifting lightly with her eyes wide open, and without swallowing any water. I couldn't see her face too clearly, but she seemed to be smiling. It was as though she forgot I even existed. She started kicking her legs, attempting to swim. Normally, one would attempt to resurface after a few seconds their first time underwater, but I was the one starting to suffocate. I had received rather torturous underwater training from the military, too. How pathetic. More importantly, was Sion still okay? Without concern for me or anything else, she flapped her limbs and swam awkwardly. It sure was rare of her to show so much enthusiasm. There was the possibility she had even forgotten about breathing. I would wait another 30 seconds and pull her up by force if I had to. Oh my god, that artwork was beautiful. It was literally breathtaking. Amazing, amazing, it was so interesting. I see. Sion was never this excited. This was a bit overwhelming. Our clothes had only gotten half dry on the heater I pulled out, but she didn't seem to mind. Ro, listen to this! I'm listening. I couldn't believe the underwater scenery had interested her so much. We had seen far more unusual landscapes while we were traveling. No, maybe not. There must have been a lot more on her mind than just the outside world she was seeing for the first time. Ro, are you really listening? Yeah, I am. It'd be better if I listened closely to what she had to say instead of letting my mind wander right now. I've only seen it in pictures before, but being in water was quite the sensation. It was so refreshing. Yeah, it's completely different from just seeing it in a picture. She was starting to lose her usual calculating, mature composure. There were fish swimming too, and it was clear as far as the eye could see. It was so pretty. And then? Yeah, what else? When I looked up at the water's surface from below, the light was flickering and sparkling. It was so mysterious. It was, I know. When I had my arms and legs bound and thrown into a pool as part of my training, the light coming from the water's surface was dazzling, like an angel was descending. I wanted to stay underwater longer. Enjoying yourself is fine, but don't overdo it. No, I was the one acting reckless. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah, it was nothing. I didn't swallow any water, and my head didn't end up hurting. Really? That's a relief. Despite the fact that I'd come into contact with 3 separate Felixes, sometimes I couldn't tell if they were built firmly or feebly. If I considered how they were born, it wouldn't be so strange if they had been genetically turned to be physically resilient. So long as you had fun. There are plenty of fun things to do even on a mountain like this. I believe it's far too early to be tired of it. You're right. I had a lot of fun too. I could remember the first time my parents took me to swim in that lake when I was a child. I had gotten all excited just like Sion was now. Okay, I'm going to take a nap. Huh? I'm going to take a nap. It's likely due to swimming, but I'm kinda tired. Swimming definitely is the sort of thing that makes you tired afterwards, I answered with a wry grin. It was a bit incredible that she woke up in the morning, slept again, and yet still hadn't staved off her drowsiness. Yeah, okay, good night. If I sleep until noon, wake me up. Got it. Be sure to change before bed. Didn't seem like she was listening anymore. After a yawn, she started to leave the living room. I guess I would have to go check that she was warm enough later. You really should eat meat when you're tired to bring up your stamina. On that note, I decided to make use of the wild boar meat I had been saving for today's lunch. Considering how energetic she was, she must have worked up an appetite. I whispered to myself as I wiped my hands off on a nearby cloth. The salad and bread were prepared, and the meat had finished pre-cooking. Now, before I put the meat in to roast... Sion, are you up? I'm coming in. After a light knock, I opened the door. As I took a step into the room, I stopped in my tracks. She was already up. You're sure up early, Sion. I woke up a bit ago. I can't just sleep all the time. And I'm not that lazy anyway. Right. Having spare time worries me. Don't worry about that. Sion did things at her own pace, but did react sensitively to insults. Anyway, lunch is about to be ready, so come down to the living room. Something just occurred to me. Yeah? So she was ignoring me this time? The weather is really nice today. I guess so. It's nice and warm. The weather outside is beautiful. Huh? Based on these conditions, you might call this picnic weather. You want to go on a picnic? It's not that I want to go on one. The conditions are simply met, so it would be improper to let it go to waste. I see. In short, she wanted to go no matter what. But this is all the time that I have for this episode, guys, so if you liked it, hit that thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe, and we will continue with this part of side story in the next time that I record Eden. So,